Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Commerce Biology. Today I am here with a new topic, carbohydrate. Here we will understand about definition, different functions and classification of carbohydrates. So friends, let's begin. So what is carbohydrate? So carbohydrates are polyhydroxyaldehydes or ketones or substances that yield such compounds on hydrolysis. It means carbohydrates contains aldehyde and ketones group. So the definition of carbohydrates will be any substance which contains polyhydroxyaldehydes or ketones or substance that yield such compounds on hydrolysis. If any compound yields the compounds having polyhydroxyaldehydes or ketones, then they are known as carbohydrate. But not all carbohydrates have the empirical formula CS2ON. So this is an empirical formula of carbohydrates, and in this formula there is the presence of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. But some carbohydrates contains nitrogen, phosphorus and sulfur. Because of this reason, this empirical formula is not suitable for all carbohydrates. And we have to understand that the most abundant organic molecule in nature is carbohydrate. Now friends, the term carbohydrate was originally coined for this class of compounds, as most of them were hydrates of carbon or could be represented by the general formula CxH2O(Y). So you can say the general formula of carbohydrate Cx, where x and y are different. Cx bracket H2O, that is multiplied by y. So this formula is the general formula of carbohydrate, and most of the compounds can be represented, will be satisfied by this general formula. But later it was found that some of them, such as deoxyribose C5H10O4, ramenose C6H12O6, do not have the required ratio of hydrogen to oxygen. It means 2:1 H2O. So they do not have required amount of hydrogen to oxygen, 2:1 ratio. Again, in addition, certain other carbohydrates are now known to possess nitrogen. For example, glucosamine and phosphorus or sulfur. These all these compounds, the carbohydrates that contains these types of elements are now found. Because of this reason, the general formula of carbohydrate will not be satisfied by all the mentioned carbohydrates here. Again, you can see that furthermore, formaldehyde, acetic acid and lactic acid, which have carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, and the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen is 1:1, is also the same as in water, but are not carbohydrates. These are not included in carbohydrate. Hence the continued use of the term carbohydrate is for convenience rather than exactness. So this is used for convenience, to make easy. The term is easier, but the term is not exact. So we have to understand that. So to accumulate a wide variety of compounds, the carbohydrates are nowadays broadly defined as polyhydroxyaldehydes or ketones and their derivatives or substances that yield one of these compound on hydrolysis. So please friends, note this one, okay? This definition, let me highlight this one, okay? This definition is the right definition of carbohydrates. It means polyhydroxyaldehyde or ketone and their derivatives. Derivatives means those substances, those compounds which can be derived from them, okay, or as a substance that yield one of these compound on hydrolysis. Those substances which can give those types of derivatives on hydrolysis are now grouped or called carbohydrates. So please don't forget the definition of carbohydrate that I have marked here, okay? This is the definition you should give when you will be asked define carbohydrate. You have to say polyhydroxyaldehyde ketones and their derivatives, or as substances, they are the substances that yield one of these compounds on hydrolysis. You have to mention this. Now, what are the functions of carbohydrate? So carbohydrates have many functions, and I have given some of the functions here, friends. So major source of energy, yes, definitely, as the oxidation of carbohydrate is the central energy yielding pathway in most non-photosynthetic cells, for example glucose. Yeah, now we get energy by glycolysis process. Okay, in glycolysis, Krebs cycle, electron transport chain that we have discussed. So this is the main source of energy, carbohydrate. Now some carbohydrate serves as reserve food materials in the humans and plants. So some of the carbohydrates, they are stored in humans and in plants. For example, glycogen in animal tissue. So glycogen is found in animal tissue and starch is found in plant. So starch, here starch and glycogen, these are the reserve food materials that glycogen will be used when there is less amount of glucose in our body. So glycogen is now converted into glucose and glucose enters in glycolysis and we get the energy. So in plants, food is stored in the form of starch. Okay, we cannot find starch as a reserve food in animals. Now glycogen is stored in liver and muscles. So you can easily understand how much glycogen can be stored in muscles and liver from this slide. Okay, now liver cells, glycogen granules. Here you can see that in liver cells there are glycogen granules that contains stored reserve carbohydrate. So granules also contain enzymes for both glycogenesis and glycogenolysis. So these are the process: formation of glycogen and conversion of glycogen. So these are the process: glycogenesis and glycogenolysis. Glycogenesis, formation of glycogen and conversion of glycogen to glucose. Now glycogen serves different purposes in liver and muscles. So the stored carbohydrate has many functions. So you have to understand that carbohydrate is a source of energy and we can store, or carbohydrate is stored as a reserve food in plants and animals that has various types of importance. That is important for various purposes. Now there is a fluctuation of glycogen storage when the man is fasting. Liver glycogen reaches to a high level after a meal. When we take meal, the glycogen in liver will be higher and decrease slowly during fasting state. Means when we do not eat any food, then its level will decrease. It means that we will now take the stored carbohydrate to get the energy when we are fasting, because glycogen will convert into glucose and that glucose will undergo glycolysis. So muscle glycogen is not affected by short periods of fasting and is only moderately decreased in prolonged fasting. It means at first liver glycogen will be used. After that, glycogen that is present in the muscles will be used. Now why store fuel as glycogen rather than fat? Why fuel is stored in glycogen? Because fat is not mobilized as quickly. Fat cannot be mobilized as quickly as glycogen. Fat cannot provide energy under anaerobic conditions. Note that point. And brain depends on continuous glucose supply, and that mostly comes from glycogen. So our brain mainly depends on glucose to do its activities without the supply of ATP, continuous supply of ATP that we can obtain from glucose, that can be converted into energy currency. Our brain cannot do its function properly. Now, carbohydrates are the components of several animals and plant structures. So, carbohydrate is very important because they are the components. They are present as a components of several animals and plant structure. For example, in skin, dermatan sulfate; in connective tissue, chondroitin sulfate; tendons, cartilage and bones. Again, in plants, cellulose is a component of wood and fiber. Also, it serves as structure and protective elements in cell walls of bacteria, murin or peptidoglycan. Okay. Some carbohydrates are components of cell membrane and nervous tissue. So, carbohydrates are present in various structures of the structures of plants and animals. Again, carbohydrates are the components of nucleic acid and blood group substances. Hyaluronic acid lubricate skeletal joints and participate recognition and addition between cells. So derivatives of carbohydrates are drugs. For example, glycoside. Auvein is used in clinical medicine. Streptomycin and antibiotics is a glycoside. So streptomycin, you can see this is an antibiotic. So it is a type of glycoside. This antibiotic is a glycoside. Now you can see amino acid derivatives of carbohydrates are components of antibiotics like erythromycin and carbamazepine. Again, ascorbic acid or derivative of carbohydrate is a water soluble vitamin. Survival of Antarctic fish in ice environment is due to presence of antifreeze glycoproteins in their blood. So these are the various functions of carbohydrates. So now let us classify carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are referred to as saccharides. So from Greek, saccharon means sugar. So carbohydrates are usually classified in three groups. They are monosaccharides, oligosaccharides and polysaccharides. Now let's move on the next slide here. So monosaccharides means, in Greek, mono means one, saccharon means sugar. So these are the compound which possess a free aldehyde or ketone group and two or more hydroxyl groups. So you can see D-glucose here. Here is the presence of aldehyde group. Okay, and you can see the presence of keto group. So these contains free aldehyde or ketone group. Okay, now these are called simple sugars. They are in fact smallest sugar and cannot be hydrolyzed into smaller ones. It cannot be hydrolyzed into smaller ones, and the general formula is CnH2ON or CnH2nON. Okay, this is the general formula given for monosaccharides. Now monosaccharides may be subdivided into trioses, tetroses, pentoses, hexoses, heptoses, etc., depending on the number of carbon atoms they possess, and as aldolase or ketolase depending upon whether they contain aldehyde group or keto group. So we can also subdivide carbohydrates depending on the amount of carbohydrate they contain. The suffix oses is kept reserved for the aldoses, and the suffix euloses is used for ketoses. Thus, glucose is a hexose and fructose is a hexulose. However, a few ketoses are named otherwise, such as fructose, as fruits are good source of sugar. You note this point. Okay. Now you can see the name of different monosaccharides. Okay, on the basis of number of carbon atom they contains. Triose means 3 carbon, tetrose means 4 carbon, pentose means 5 carbon, hexose means 6 carbon, heptose means 7 carbon, and these are the aldoses and ketoses. aldehyde group and keto group. Now, what are oligosaccharides? So, oligosaccharides, oligo means few. So, are the compounds that yield 2 to 10 molecules of the same or different monosaccharide on hydrolysis. On hydrolysis, if the carbohydrate can give 2 to 10 molecules of same compound, means carbohydrate compound or different monosaccharides, then they are called oligosaccharides. Accordingly, an oligosaccharides yielding 2 molecules of monosaccharide on hydrolysis is designated as a disaccharide, and the one yielding 3 molecules of monosaccharides as a trisaccharides, and so on. You can understand that. So oligosaccharides, general formula of oligosaccharides is CnH2O N-1, and that of trisaccharides is CnH2O N-2, and so on. The formula goes like this. Now examples of disaccharides are sucrose, lactose, maltose, cellulobiose, trehalose, ginetobiose, melibiose. So trisaccharides is raminose, gentianose, raffinose, brevinose, meligitose. So tetrasaccharides is stachyose, saccharose. Pentasaccharide is verbascose. Now polysaccharides, poly means many. So they are the compounds of sugar that yield more than 10 molecules of monosaccharides unit on hydrolysis. Now these may be further classified depending on whether the monosaccharide molecules produced as a result of hydrolysis of polysaccharide are the same type or different types. So on hydrolysis, for example, if these are the polysaccharides and all the small unit, all the monosaccharide present here, all when it is hydrolyzed and it gives all the molecules we got is glucose. This means all are the glucose monomers that are present here. They are bound together with glycosidic linkage, alpha 1 for glycosidic linkage. Then it is known as homopolysaccharides, means same type of saccharides are there, and hetero means if there is the presence of different carbohydrates, or if different, then they are known as heteropolysaccharides, and the general formula is C6H10O5 multiplied by X. What are homopolysaccharides? Starch, glycogen, inulin. Remember the point, inulin. You may forget this one, okay? Inulin, cellulose, pectin, chitin. So in heteropolysaccharides, you can find hyaluronic acid, chondroitin sulfate, dermatan sulfate, keratin sulfate, and heparin. Okay, please study these examples. Now you can see the structure of glucose. Okay, straight chain form. This is Fischer projection. Alpha D glucose. This is called alpha. Why? Because in anomeric carbon, in first number carbon, the OH group is at lower side, so it is alpha. And D glucose. Now alpha D glucose. This is a chair form. So we can represent the structure of glucose in 3 different ways. Okay. So this is general introduction of carbohydrates. In next slide, I will be talking about the formation of glycosidic bond and different types of properties of carbohydrates. They are monosaccharides, disaccharides, oligosaccharides, and polysaccharides. So bye bye, take care.